and welcome tonight. INEC gives assurance to NYSC leadership on the safety of core members selected for the 2015 election. Civil society groups condemn disparaging remarks during campaigns, call on politicians to restrict themselves to issue-based campaigns. It's 17 more days to the 2015 elections, and the gladiators are intensifying campaigns across the country. And Jordan offers an Iraqi prisoner in exchange for one of its pilots held hostage by ISIS.
On business news tonight, the Naira rebounds from a record low against the world's benchmark currency.
And on sports news, former World Footballer of the Year and Portuguese legend Luís Figo joins the race to unseat Sepp Blatter as FIFA president.
Youth Corps members have always been foot soldiers for the Independent National Electoral Commission during elections. The leadership of the NYSC is this time seeking commitment from INEC regarding the safety of these ad hoc staff 17 days of the general elections in the country. INEC's chairman, Professor Tahiro Jega, has given his word that Corps members working with INEC this year can be assured of high level of security during the polls.
I would like to assure you that we have received your submission in this regard, and we will do everything possible to ensure that those requirements are provided. We cannot do enough to secure the young men and women of the NYSC and to attend to their welfare needs as they do this very crucial national service. So I assure you that all hands are on deck to ensure that they have a valuable or conducive environment for participation in the electoral activities in February this year. No doubt, as the DG has emphasized, that participation by Corps members is voluntary. But although it is voluntary, it is part of the national service that they are doing for this country. And therefore, we all have an obligation to ensure that even though they choose to participate voluntarily, we also ensure that we minimize the challenges they face and we protect them adequately, and we provide and cater for their welfare as they participate in this scheme.
INEC Chairman Professor Tahiro Jega. Well, INEC also met with persons with disabilities and participants who have complained that political parties make promises during elections and forget them soon after the polls. However, the electoral body has promised again to ensure that they are not disenfranchised during the polls. Our correspondent Amaka Okafo reports.
As part of the activities leading to the 2015 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission has been organizing forums to sensitize Nigerians on the polls. This time, it was a meeting between political parties and persons with disabilities to discuss their participation in political activities. Political parties, one after the other, rolled out laudable programs of how they have carried persons with disabilities along.
We made a new policy statement that we're not going to be putting money in persons to contest election anymore. Why? Because people in Nigeria don't keep up with the mandate as given. But for the persons with disability, there was an exception that when you come without paying for form, we're going to finance certain percentage of your election expenses.
Equally made it mandatory that anybody with disability, including women, their nomination form is free. And all activities we do in APC, we make sure that the people with disabilities are carried on.
For the persons with disabilities, all seem to be talk and no action. They say it is a normal tactic employed by political parties during elections that is soon forgotten after the polls. They also criticized INEC.
There's a lip service that is being paid to inclusion, because inclusion is not just the theory, inclusion in practice. That means the necessary tools that PWD needs must be provided. That's what makes them part of the electionary process. It's not just talking about it.
They always call us to a meeting like this one in a round table and workship, and immediately what they said there, that is all. There's nothing will come out beside that. Most of the time, they only tend to deceive us, thinking that yes, since we are a person with disability, our mental psyche are also disabled, thinking that we are fools. Not knowing that we know what we are doing, we are challenging them. A lot of them said a lot of things before now, and they are saying different things now.
Others, however, want to hold the politicians and INEC to their words with the hope that it will be matched with action.
Everyone is talking sweet this time around, but whatever they have said today, we're going to hold them to it and begin to engage based on that.
It is expected that this meeting will ensure that Nigerians with disabilities are not disenfranchised during next month's polls and subsequent elections in the country. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
Against the expectations of many, including the civil society groups, ongoing debates and campaigns by political parties are moving away from issues to attack persons. According to civil society groups, the ongoing campaigns are nothing more than personality attacks rather than debates on real issues that will drive Nigeria as a nation. The groups are asking citizens to demand blueprints from politicians on how they intend to tackle economic and security issues if elected into office. Campaigns are in top gear for next month's presidential elections. President Goodluck Jonathan was in the Ondo State capital, Akure, where he promised improved education, ICT development, and more opportunities for women in governance if re-elected.
Nigeria!
This is Freedom Park in Akure, Ondo State.
PDP!
And the PDP presidential campaign train is making a stop over here
Nigeria!
with a statement to party supporters that 2015 is one for continuity. The rally parades PDP leaders as they take turns to canvass support for President Goodluck Jonathan's candidacy.
The whole of the Southwest are now for PDP. A gentleman of quintessential order.
The PDP is not just making an appeal, however, as it also finds a way to give account of its stewardship in the last 4 years.
When we came in, the power generation in Nigeria was about 2,000 megawatts. Today we are generating over 4,500 megawatts.
The event got to its peak with the unveiling of President Jonathan as the best man for the 2015 presidential elections. The president also promised better funding of the state's education sector, as he also announced that 35 schools have been developed so far in Ondo State, among other achievements on his list.
We are also funding both the federal government tertiary institutions and the state tertiary institution through the TED fund. And a lot has been done in that direction, and we'll continue to do more. At the national level, we have built 14 additional universities, and we're expanding the spaces. So you must strengthen the Nigerian youth for leadership, and that's why we're talking about education, to give them the strength.
Promises have been made, no doubt, but it's left for the electorates to make up their minds on who deserves the nation's #1 position come February 14.
The country's political sphere continues to witness a lot of activities as elections draw nearer. The APC campaign team was in Kana local government area today to meet with party faithful there. The governorship candidate of the party, Dakoku Pisaside, acknowledged support from the crowd, promising to bring rapid developments to the locality if voted in.
APC!
The crowd is upbeat as the campaign train of the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate in Rivers State, Dakuku Peterside, arrives Kana local government as part of its tour.
Jehovah, there is no one greater than Jehovah.
The broom-wielding supporters and the leadership of the community express faith in the party's ability to deliver on its promises, while berating the present administration for the neglect suffered by the Ogoni people.
Marvelous Jehovah.
This government has failed to protect the lives and property of Ogoni people. Every day our people are being killed and we have police. On the 14th we will vote. We will vote to recover our debt. We have suffered. We suffered. It is our suffering that created the platform for the Niger Delta struggle. Today they are chopping. Today they are eating. Today they are working. Did they call you?
One by one, they threw their weight behind the candidacy of Dakuku Peterside, after which he took his turn to address the crowd of supporters.
I lived in Bori. I understand the challenges here. The security challenges I understand. The problems we have in Bori. In our envisaged Bori New Town, our envisioned Bori New Town, which will be sited around the school to land axis. We are going to have well laid out streets, street lights throughout, gated communities. We are going to have adjoining industries. We are going to have industrial estates.
Excellent Jehovah, marvelous Jehovah.
As the election process steams up, it behoves on political parties to get the people's consent, which is critical to winning or losing the seat of power.
In part two, after the break, new Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 2, Joseph Mbu, resumes in Lagos ahead of the 2015 elections. Warns against unlawful behavior. Stay with us for more.